solar face. I'm a member of the human race. Looking at a forest, all I see are trees, oaks and elms and sycamores, branches and leaves. Everyone is different, yet everyone's the same. Planted in this earth, we give them all a common name. In a universe so vast, we must guarantee humanity will last. I'm a member of the human race. Ask me where I'm from, I'll say this human place. Born here with a heart, a soul, a face. I'm a member of the human race. We have all made wishes on the same bright star. We fight the same enemy in our human hearts. We will come together when we realize that we can see each other with more than just our eyes. Don't think in terms of them and us. The future of our people is in God we trust. I'm a member of the human race. Ask me where I'm from, I'll say this human place. Born here with a heart, a soul, a face. I'm a member of the human race. And as one family we stand, with the fate of our children's children in our hands. Whoa, I'm a member of the human race. Ask me where I'm from, I'll say this human place. Born here with a heart, a soul, a face. I'm a member of the human, a member of the human, member of the human race.
Such powerful words. I'm a member of the human race. So powerful today to think about that in these times that we live in. So let's open with prayer after that, those beautiful words and music, and just pause for a moment and settle into this place where God lives and moves and has being in each of us. Let's close our eyes, not just our outer eyes, but our inner eyes, to rise up to this higher consciousness, to see, to remember, to acknowledge the one source that lives and moves and has being in each one of us. We celebrate this awareness and rest in the awe and wonder of the magnificent spirit of the universe. So we take a deep breath and realize that as we continue through this year, November the 1st, the year is rapidly coming to a close, and 2020 has been and continues to be stressful and trying for many people. You may be one of them. So whether it be from COVID-19 concerns, the election on Tuesday, the many storms, wildfires, and floodings that has occurred in 2020. We just pause, and yes, and even in these times of troubling, we raise our consciousness to the good that we know is in the universe and in our lives. We rest in the peace that all is well, no matter the outer circumstances. This isn't a Pollyannish denial of what's really going around us. It is a denial that these circumstances have any ultimate power in our lives, in our peace, and of who we are. May we be uplifted with that knowledge by the truth of our beingness and our truth of oneness in the universe. We join together in this moment as we claim this truth. This truth, may peace prevail in the hearts and minds of every sentient being on the planet. This is our prayer, to uplift our consciousness, to bring peace, love, and wisdom to all these situations, event, or persons. May we find peace, and may we be the peace that we seek. We celebrate the awareness that we are in the eachness and the allness of life, and so it is. We say amen. So we have been honoring the 5 principles of unity. The more when we think about this human race and the fact that we're all one, the 5 powers are something I'm constantly drawn to think and remember that we're all divine. Every one of us are divine. And then we take that knowledge of the divinity and apply. That's our second step, and we take that and do it in our living, in our practice. That's how we experience it. Then we know the truth and we live it. Principle number 5. And you guys on the call today, probably you tuning in, know that we have a lot of Zoom calls during the week, and we invite you to join us. You can join Rose and the group that meets for A Course of Miracles on Tuesdays. Rose Flora facilitates that at 6 o'clock on Tuesday evenings. We'll have a chance for coffee and chat Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And this ought to be interesting. This will be I'm sure we'll have some reflection of the election, but I also want us to reflect on what we're going to talk about today. And that's the topic today is self-care. So we'll have a chance to do all of that on Wednesday morning. So join us, even if you're not usually up by that time or fully awake by that time. Try to join us so that we can have more of us to join in this time of reflection after the election and what's going on. So we'll have that there. Thursday we'll do which is appropriate too. Even after Wednesday, we'll do a meditation at 11 o'clock on Thursdays. I said Tuesday, meant Thursday. So join us for that. And last week I mentioned for the first time, and I sent you an email about a course, a book study that Martha Creek is facilitating called Finding Yourself in Transition. I have that the book here, Finding Yourself in Transition by Reverend Robert Brummett. I've been reading it again this week. I've studied this book for many, many years, and it's really appropriate for where we are in these times. Like I said, in these times where there's COVID-19 or the election or all the natural disasters and occurrences that we've had, it's a really good time to be there. So the class, if you need any more info about that, check the email that I sent you. It starts Monday evening at 6 p.m. That's tomorrow. And that'll be a good way to stay in touch and to get us. Many of you have been asking for some book studies, and that'll be a good way of doing it as a community. So as I say every week, thanks to all of you who continue to give and bless us with your offerings and your financial support. Again, I feel so humbled and truly blessed. We are having some experiences that I need to share with you, and the board and we're preparing a letter and some facts to send you to show you where we are, kind of an update of our income and expenses and all that kind of stuff about that we have to do to keep this place running and for we are, so that we'll be ready to quote hit the ground running when we come back to in-person activities. whenever that is. We don't know when that is. So again, but appreciate you giving, and continue to do so. It's easy in this time. I know it's easy for me to forget to donate. So just remember to donate if you can. And you can donate by going to the website and hitting the donate button. And you can do that safely through PayPal. And many of you are doing that. Or you can send a check, and many of you are doing that too. So again, grateful for whatever way you find. So if you would put your hands together, we affirm this affirmation for us. Even though we're in this distance, this is a very powerful affirmation to affirm. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And please remember to send me your prayer request, or you can send them to anybody really in the congregation. Share them with each other, share them with me. If you want it to be confidential, please let me know, and we'll share that. I'll keep these and pray over. I pray for all of you every day, actually, and for myself. So, but if you have any specific prayer needs, we want to lift those up in prayer and affirmative prayer, the way we pray. So be sure to share those with me. And then I'll hold them here for 7 days and then send them to Unity Village, Silent Unity, where they're held in prayer for 30 days at Silent Unity. So let us pray with you. So now let's pause as we continue our service with the daily word, the reading of the daily word. Before I start this, you probably, if you're following along in your booklet, the booklet that we've been using for self-care, nurture your divine spirit. The topic today is self-care. And so I found a daily word, it wasn't for actually today, but it did come from the daily word, and it's titled self-care. So let me read that, and then we'll say the affirmation together at the end. So I take care of my mind and body. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. I take care of my mind and body. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. Jesus taught us to love one another as we love ourselves. Care of ourselves is one way we demonstrate love for ourselves. I can better care for others when I have taken care of myself. We are threefold beings: mind, body, and spirit. My body and mind need care. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. I love and care for my body with good nutrition, adequate exercise, and good grooming habits. I love and care for my mind by reading books and magazines and joining Zoom services like this that I can use to inspire and uplift myself. I take care to remember my spirit, my divinity, by praying and meditating every day. I take care of my body and mind. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. I take care of my mind and body. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. So would you repeat that affirmation with me? I take care of my mind and body. My spirit is timeless, whole, and perfect. And so it is. So now we'll have another song. This one before we go into meditation, and this one is one that I've played a few times, but I just thought today it was so perfect, and that's To Unplug by Daniel Nabob. Any song by Daniel Nabob is timely. This one, Unplug, is appropriate again for where we are. So let me share this with you, and we'll get that going.
Take a breath, take a seat, take a moment, and just be. that's enough. Give yourself permission to unplug. Unplug, unlearn, unwind, unyearn, unseek, unturn, unmove. Unplug, unplay, unmake, unsay, unseen, unthink, undo. Take a breath for yourself, just for you, and no one else. Feel the quiet, feel the love, feel the peace when you unplug. Unplug, unlearn, unwind, unyearn, unsee, unturn, unmove. Unplug, unplay, unmake, unsay, unseen, unthink, undo. Unplug, unrush, unwait, untouch, unpush, unplan, unload. Unplug, ungo, unwind, unknow, unwand. Welcome home. Take a breath, take a seat, take a moment, and just be.
Take a moment to just be. Rest in this place right where you are. Take a breath and just be. Be fully present in this now moment. Take a deep breath in and fully rise your body. Let your body lift up, and then just release on the exhale and just relax. Take another deep breath in. And then just breathe and relax, fully relax. Because now it's a time for stillness, a time of being. So get comfortable in your chair, or your sofa, or wherever you are, and just fully relax your body. Be in that relaxed position so that you can fully relax your body, that restful position. Settle into that position now for a few moments. Now, in your awareness, scan any part of your body, and if you feel any tension, any anxiety, any stress, just let it go. Or discomfort. Speak lovingly to that part of your body, inviting it to relax, giving it permission to relax. Now gently give your mind permission to let go of all the processing and all the thinking and just be. So as we bring our body into this relaxed state, and as we bring our mind into this relaxed state, and we continue to focus on the breath, we are in a place where we are in the awareness is free. Our awareness is free to communicate with spirit. So as you experience this stillness of the body and the mind, allow your awareness to gently sink to the depths of your heart. Breathe into that heart space where love and intuitively you know the depth of your being into that heart space. So turn your awareness to that place. It's not in a book, not in what I'm saying. It's intuitively within you that you know this is your place. Where you intuitively know there is only love. There is only love. This is your place. And this is your time. So as we join across this virtual distance, there is no time and space to spirit. So we are indeed one. Let's affirm this oneness that brings us together in stillness, in meditation. As we enter this silence, this awareness, this deep, deep, deep love that exists in our heart space, in the silence. So I invite you to take a deep breath in. Continue to hang on to that awareness of oneness for just a few seconds. Just hold that awareness of oneness that we are. Can you get a sense of that oneness, that we're all part of this human race? We just unplug. We have the tools to realize how to do this and how to teach the world to do it. Take a deep breath in and release. Begin to return your attention to this time and place. And we'll continue this service. We'll continue learning how to take care of ourselves, how to nurture ourselves, to nurture this awareness of oneness that exists as us, through us, and from us. So wiggle your fingers and toes, roll your shoulders, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well, greetings again. I could tell that was as good as, that meditation was as good for you as it was me, because I could see it on your face. So it's quite a treat for me to get to lead you in meditation. Any of you could do it. So it's a treat, an honor to do that with you. It feels so deep and so honored to do that collectively as a group, as we gather our energy together. So today we're continuing our talk from Nurture Your Divine Spirit from the booklet, and we're talking about self-care. So when your leadership, spiritual leadership team got together a few weeks ago to talk about this booklet, I picked this topic, and I also picked the one on journaling, if you remember, and the same author was part of both of those, Elizabeth Longo, and I've met her and have talked to her quite a bit. She's a beautiful spirit, and just really, really enjoyed talking with her. So I actually thought about getting her, asking her to join us today. And then I kept, praying about it and seeing what would be best for you and how we can share this message, this tool that we have called self-care. Because as you know, as you can tell, it's something I'm working on. I've worked on this my whole life, taking care of myself. Many of us do these days in the U.S., but this little booklet has some, the articles in here, the 2 articles in here are just filled with fantastic steps and things to reinforce what we know we need to do. But rather than sit here and preach to you from the book what we should do and shouldn't, again, there should be no shoulds in our life. We should on ourselves, if you would, if you know what I mean. There's no shoulds. So, and yet there are some things that we know we need to do to take care of ourselves. And in the booklet, there's a real short little thing given by Elizabeth Longo, Reverend Elizabeth Longo, that's worth getting into it. She says, pause, take a moment to disconnect from the whirl of time and space. Simply be, notice, pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations. Be a loving witness and relax. Accept the moment as it is. Breathe, take a couple of deep breaths, and be grateful. So bring your attention to your heart. You want to place, if you want, you can put your hand over your heart and just be grateful. So all of those are fantastic steps. And self-care, she defines as being willing and committed to rejuvenate your soul and find your center. So she's talking about it from that perspective. So again, as I was reflecting on this, I thought, what should I bring somebody in from the outside to do this, to give you inspiration and to uplift you? And all of a sudden it hit me. Again, that's why we pray. The inspiration came. We have 2 really, really, at least from my experience with it, and all of you are doing this. We could listen from any of you, but I thought I would ask Marcia. This is part of her her career is to share wellness with everybody. And then Karen-Pauline has also shared with me and many of us her practice of self-care. So I'm going to ask Marcia to start us off with her thoughts and wisdom and guidance for self-care. Marcia?
Thank you so much. What I want to do first is I want y'all to just maybe close your eyes and think of a time when you were on someone's side. Maybe it's a child that you were trying to protect or a friend that you were standing up for. Recall what that felt like. Knowing what being on someone's side is like, apply this to yourself. Be on your own side. That's what I feel like self-care is. You can open your eyes. But it's easier sometimes to take care of other people and to be on other people's side. But your health, my specialty is care for the physical body. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. But, if it's really each of our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And Ron, I really like that daily word. It went right into, kind of how I think about it. So when you take care of yourself, you are taking care of your, I guess what I should say is, if you aren't taking care of yourself, you just really can't be living your best life. And there's many ways to do it. And nobody can do it for you. So when you're at your best health, you have the most energy and you can be more of who you are here to be. So now I do totally believe that's true, but then during this time right now in 2020, a lot of people have talked to me about really getting off track. You might have heard, I've heard of the freshman 15 when you go to college. Well, now people are talking about the COVID-15 or, we've just had a lot of competing things. And the fact is, the more stress we feel, the less we take care of ourselves. That is a fact. I think we just have competing things and it's just easy to try to veg out in front of the sofa or on the sofa and not moving. Or a lot of times we might eat to try to soothe or calm ourselves. Some people drink too much alcohol, have trouble sleeping, and just all these different things. Lots of times we will turn to high fat, high salt, high sugar foods. And it's okay. But there are some simple things that I want to share today that might help you to get back on track. Now, I'm surely know that all of y'all aren't off track, but this just did come to mind to talk about right now, 2 days before the election and, during this time. But you can use some of these things that I'm going to talk about, just to start a new habit, really. So the first thing, though, to take care of yourself is to think about why you want to change. And the thing that is really important here that you might not have thought of before is to really go deep as to why do I want to, whatever it is. I'll just say, I'm just going to use eating healthy in this example. Why do I want to eat healthy? And then you think of the first thing that comes to mind, but then go to the next question is And why is that healthy? And you answer why is the first answer that you gave, why is that healthy? And then, and why is that healthy? And you just kind of, it's like peeling layers of an onion. And sometimes I have a handout that's called Ask Why Until You Cry. And you don't really have to cry. But the point is to get kind of deep with what is like your emotional, deepest reason why you want to live your best life or eat healthy or something like that. Because if you're really clear as to why it's important, it's easier to do the things that you want to do when you don't feel like doing it. So that's the first thing I would recommend. And then think about what you're ready to change. Now, I'm going to give just a few examples. I'm not saying this is what you should change, but if you have found yourself kind of off track with the COVID and maybe eating too much, that's one of the problems under stress is people eat too much. So some things to think about that could help you manage your food intake. That would be one of my most important suggestions, is to think of something that would help you manage your food intake. One really good thing to try is to have regular meals. Because if you're planning and having regular meals, you're nourishing your body, which is really important, and it will help you to not stress eat because you won't be hungry. You feel satisfied. Another way to manage your food intake is to eat in one place. You know, decide where it is you're going to eat and just eat there and not eat all over the place. So like a table would be a good idea. Don't do other things while you're eating. So often we're doing a lot of other things at the same time, but you want to just eat when you're eating and pay attention to the taste, the flavor, the textures of the food. Another way to manage your food intake would be to notice your hunger and your fullness. So it's kind of hard sometimes, especially if you're an emotional eater. You might want to eat, but is it that you have stomach hunger, or is it in your head that you want to eat? But it's ideal to eat at the first signs of hunger. If you skip that and you get too hungry, you'll probably just eat too much. I mean, that's the main thing that happens. But then as you're eating mindfully without other things going on, pay attention to how satisfied you feel. And then try to stop eating when you're no longer hungry. That would be the best way to kind of honor your body. Eat when you start getting hungry and stop when you're not hungry anymore. But the only way to do that is to not have all these other things going on. Another idea would be to just make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Or you might decide that you want to cut back on sugar-filled beverages or snacks. Another idea would be to get things out of your environment that you don't want to eat. I mean, this came to mind in my own house. I had apples in a bowl, and I had a bag of Halloween candy next to it. Okay, well, it is really hard to eat an apple if there's a bag of Halloween candy next to it. So the Halloween candy that we got for no trick-or-treaters that came is going to my husband's office tomorrow, because I can't have that in my house because I need to eat the apples. That's just an example. Okay, so decide what it is you want to do. And I would really recommend just picking one thing, because when you try to do a lot of things, it's harder to figure out what you're doing. So think of one thing and then break it down to an easy step that you're ready for. And be very specific as to what you've decided you're going to change. An example would be, I will not eat while watching TV at night. That's very clear. It's a yes or no, measurable. And then track your progress. And just any kind of tracking is a positive. So like you could just put a check mark or something like that. And then adjust if you mess up. But the main thing is to remember to be on your own side. Always be on your own side and be kind to yourself. Do not berate yourself. because that never helps. So just know that you'll get to choose again pretty soon. So those are my tips. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Oh man, that's so good. So good. So good. Okay, Karen-Pauline's going to share with us now her self-care practices and knowledge and wisdom. And Karen-Pauline.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And always, I just love Marcia. I do. I follow you, Marcia. I do. So I'm going for a little bit different approach, and I'm just going to start. Self-care is a continual pursuit and process. It's not a one and done. And since every day is different, so are your needs. It's a desire to pursue your well-being and a good life. Self-care is knowing you are worth it and willing to get to know yourself better, deeper, and in more meaningful ways. Sometimes it's not that you have to do special activities. It's more about the attention you give to yourself. And then it's about the intention in which you are doing the activity. Now, included in this is rest and sleep. Those are activities. Are you willing to inquire and investigate what that means for you? You personally, you intimately with yourself. And since there is no one else like you, only you really know what it would be to move into a different state of being. Your awareness can begin physically, emotionally, mentally, soul, or spirit levels. It doesn't matter where you start. You just have to start. It's all a process. Self-care is all process, deep connections and connectedness. Self-care includes all the heart qualities: love, compassion, gratitude, and most of all, tenderness to oneself. You may find uncomfortable feelings, especially when you begin to go within. You might find the first thing is what you don't want or what you don't want to feel. And what I say to that is, hurrah, good, start there, listen. We have to start and then restart over and over and again, over and again. Okay, you already got it, over. Yeah. The body has its own wisdom, and it works really hard for us every day, every day. And as long as we are graced with a body, we need to tend to it. Are you willing to listen from within? What would it look like for you to prioritize some aspect of your well-being? Progress is not perfection, and progress is a process. Self-care is a process. It's a pursuit. It's a pursuit of happiness. What would it be like to feel wellness in the deepest parts of you? Can you show up for yourself? And if you slip up, who cares? It doesn't really matter. Just bring your attention back there. Give yourself your attention. Self-care is sacred work. It's a sacred relationship. Ask yourself, how can I best support myself? Work with your body and your body's energy rather than ignoring it, which translates to working against it. What would it look like for you to create wellness from within? Well-being is the result of self-care, and there are no situations or circumstances excluded from this, no matter what your challenge is. And self-care is above all a privilege. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karen-Pauline. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Such wise wisdom. You made me think of the phrase we say in a lot of the 12-step groups. It's simple but not easy. Not always easy. Life is simple and not easy necessarily. That's why we get to repeat over one day at a time, over and over and over. So very strong words of wisdom and guidance there for all of us. So, well, thank you. The self-care that's mentioned in the book and that's talked about with Karen-Pauline and Marcia is so appropriate. And I thought that it was right for us to be inspired by inspire each other. And we can continue to do that in all these activities that we do. And that's part of why we're here together collectively, is to inspire and empower each other. That's the name of what we are and who we are. So thank you again, Karen-Pauline and Marcia, for all that. So namaste. We'll have some more time to greet you and thank you in the chat time. So this is the first Sunday of the month, so it's already November, and we were talking earlier or at the end of last week that we don't have on our list any November birthdays. Is anybody having a birthday in November? Does anybody know of anybody having a birthday in November? You know, as I think about that, that's one of the ways we self-care is we love each other. And if you have a birthday, let us love on you and sing happy birthday and do these silly ways. And
my daughter Annie, who a lot of y'all know, she turns 24 today.
How about that? Oh, today, November 1st. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll say happy birthday to her. That's cool. Very good. Anybody else? Okay, well, I'll invite you to unmute yourself, and I'll say the line. We'll close with the prayer for protection, and I'll say I'll say a line, and then ask you to repeat it with me. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Blessings, my friend. Have a great week, and join us if you, or call me if you have any, through all this week with all this stuff going on, if you need a moment to pray or to vent, just don't hesitate to call or email or text, or just let us know. Let us be present with you in your life. Well, I'll stop the recording for now, and then we'll celebrate, have some time for fellowship. God bless.